Hello, my darling. Listen, I know it's late right now, but is it alright if I stay here with you for just a little while? I can't sleep, and I just feel like talking, at least until I feel safe falling asleep. Thank you, darling. You are just so incredibly sweet. Would you mind if I sat on your bed, dear? Thank you, darling, but there's no need to be so formal. It's only me, after all. And besides, we might as well be sleeping in the same room, since we're practically engaged at this point. My goodness, darling, you are just too adorable for words. You get so flustered so easily. I could say anything and that would get you blushing redder than Hinoka's hair. Calm down, darling, I was only teasing you. You always fall for my teasing, don't you? You know, you getting so flustered like this reminds me of when you were little. You'd get so flustered and emotional over anything that had to do with me. I remember when you were little, I remember you cried for 3 days straight, merely because I didn't give you the last slice of cake I baked for you and our siblings one afternoon. It took me a whole separate cake, a whole day of apologizing, and an extra day of taking care of you and your sick little self, just for you to forgive me. Oh, you poor thing. You got so sick because you ate my cake so fast and you gave yourself a tummy ache. I guess I could say you were a greedy little eater when you were young. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I've noticed that you could still be a little bit greedy when eating my cooking in particular. Every time it's my turn to cook everyone's dinner, you always have to have the first serving. You're so quick to get my meal, it flatters me every time. And worries everyone else. I can't tell you how many times that sucker was worried that you might have gone mad every time that you had to rush just to get my food. Why, thank you, dearest. It makes me so happy to know you enjoy my cooking, and I hope that you'll always continue to adore my cooking and baking skills. This is nice, you know? Just us talking like this, reminiscing, talking nonsense. I hope that part of us will never change. Us being able to laugh and smile and reminisce like this. What's wrong? With me? Do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to lie? Of course you'd say honesty. Well, it has to do with why I came in here in the first place. I'm scared. I'm scared that once this is all over, and we enter our final battle with Father, things won't be the same. I'm scared that you may not win, that we won't win, that something bad will happen. Don't get me wrong, darling. I've never doubted your strength since I became Hoshido's ally. I've seen how strong and confident of a leader you've become, and seeing you lead your armies, fight the enemy, protect your people, it amazes me so much. I've seen just how much you've grown, and I've truly had faith in you that all of us, that we could truly make your quest for peace a reality. But now I just don't know. We're just one step away from facing off in the battle that could determine the fate of both Hoshido and Noir. And the reality of the situation is soul-crushing. I've been having these horrid nightmares. That you were defeated in battle, and that Xander and Father, they had you executed in so many brutal ways. All I could do was watch. Each nightmare was the same. I couldn't move or speak. But I tried to cry, and all I could do was cry and try to scream for them to stop. I begged and pleaded, but nothing worked. And they took you away from me. Ever since these began, I've been so terrified that with each battle you face, that you may not win. That you may become mortally wounded and won't be able to fight. That you'll be defeated, that you'll lose. I couldn't bear that sort of fate. I can't take the thought of losing you forever. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of losing you to Father and Xander and everyone. I love Father and Xander, but I don't know, I love you so much. I can't bear the thought of knowing that they took you away from me. It scares me so much. I couldn't tell you because I didn't want you to worry about me. Not when we're already so close to our final showdown with Father. Besides, how could I tell you? I didn't want you to see your big sister, your retainer and confidant, your lover, in such a pathetic and pitiful state. I felt so embarrassed that I was so scared over something that might not even be a reality. And I was even more scared that you'd think of me as a fool for crying over such things. Yes, I know. Secrets aren't something that we should have between us. I'm sorry, darling. I really should have gone to you instead of dwelling on all of this. I'm sorry. I truly am pitiful, aren't I? I couldn't even gain enough courage to entrust my emotions with you of all people. The love of my life, my fiancé, my whole world. I couldn't even trust my feelings with you. Yes, I suppose I do look down on myself a lot. It's a force of habit that my mother... Actually, let's not talk about that. Let's change the subject, shall we? Huh? You want to know more about my mother? Darling, I don't think you'd want to hear stories that will only depress you. What happened to me in my youth does not matter now. Yes, I know. I suppose honesty is key in a relationship, and I do make that very clear all the time. All right, if you insist. Let's see. My mother, she was a beautiful woman. On the outside, of course. And she played the part as an actress very well. She played the part of a loving and adoring woman and lover to Father perfectly. But on the inside, she was truly a monster. At least in my eyes. She made it very clear that because she was the first of his mistresses to get pregnant with his child, and bore the second child of Father's lineage, that she was better than them, all the other women that Father was with, that she deserved to become the new queen. But things grew difficult. The other women had characteristics that my mother did not have. Beauty, riches, personality, connections, things of that sort. And so, to help achieve her goal of wooing Father and becoming the Queen of Nor, she had me become her scapegoat. She made me do things I very much so regret. I almost killed Leo and Elise when they were young because Mother couldn't stand knowing that she had competition. And I hate myself every day for that. Pretty soon, with all of these actions that my mother had me do, I became more of a scapegoat and object of power to her than a daughter. I can't even recall the last time she even acted like a true mother to me, and not some power-hungry woman using a child to her advantage. But I didn't hate her. I didn't like her, and I hated all the things she did to me and made me do. She yelled at me, she beat me for misbehaving, and she made me do such horrible things to the maids, the servants, Leo and Elise's mothers. At one point, she even tried to make me kill Xander's mother. Of course, I said no, and that resulted in another beating. But even so, I can't bring myself to hate her, because at the end of it all, she was still my mother. She didn't have to bring me into this world. She could have achieved greatness and the throne and Father's love all on her own. And she had every right not to bring a child into the world that she would never come to love. But she did anyway. Whether or not that was just to woo Father even more because she bore his child first out of all of his other mistresses, I'll never know, but I suppose I do owe her my thanks for bringing me into the world in the first place. Because of her, you got to meet me? Oh, well, you've truly gotten better at flustering me, darling. That's for certain. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I guess that's another thing I can thank my mother for, is because she brought me into the world, I got to be with you. And I got to have a family so wonderful. Xander, Elise, Leo, Father, you. And now I have a new family. Everyone in Hoshido has been so kind to me. They've welcomed me as if I was their own blood. No words of gratitude could ever express how I feel. I'm just so happy. Darling, don't call me cute like that out of the blue. You're going to set me ablaze with how flustered you're making me with your comments. Since when did you get so bold with your flirting? You're just too much sometimes. But that isn't a bad thing. Not in the slightest to me. Although I never expected to find it so hard to accept how you feel about me, and the things you make me feel in return, the things that you say and do, the way they affect me. I guess I'm just not used to you becoming so bold around me. I was always used to you either playing along in a joking manner and never taking me seriously, or everything I say being one-sided. But knowing that you feel the same way, and knowing that you're now capable of making me feel like this, and making my heart race and my face burn, it's sweet. Say, darling, since we were talking about my mother, I hope you don't mind me asking about your mother, Queen Makoto. How much do you remember about her? Sorry if you don't want to answer, my darling. Oh, okay. I see. I couldn't possibly imagine that. To have all your memories of your mother and the family who loved you and whom you loved so dearly stripped from you at such a young age. And only to meet them again years later, and having to witness your own mother die in your arms after seeing them again for the first time in forever. It's heartbreaking. It's unimaginable. I couldn't imagine being in the place you are now. I'm so incredibly sorry for all you've had to endure, my darling. Everything that has happened to you. All the travesties that Father has committed against you. Every terrible and horrendous thing that has ever happened to you because of Nor, because of Father, because of me. I'm so truly and deeply sorry. No, it's not okay, my darling, and yes, I did have a part in this. Father has hurt you in so many ways, and all I could do at the time was stand by him and take his orders. I mean, gods, I almost attacked you and your men, your armies. I can't stand for this. Hoshido, your mother, all of it, it will be avenged, my darling. I can swear you that much. She sounded like a much better mother than I could have ever imagined mine being, or any mother being. Even though I never knew her and you barely remember her, from what Ryoma and the others say about her, she was a good woman and an amazing mother as well. If she were alive, I would have loved to meet her. To be able to ask her for her blessing so we could get married. To call her mother myself. That would have been nice. But then again, Takumi did tell me that it isn't abnormal for people in Hoshido to visit the graves of their loved ones. Visiting them like that wouldn't be an issue, would it? I'm glad. If you don't think that this is an odd idea, I would like for us to have our wedding in front of that monumental statue that was built in Queen Makoto's honor. Ryoma told me that when your mother passed on, the statue was destroyed in the destruction. But that it was rebuilt to honor her memory. And everybody thought it would be a grand idea to have the wedding ceremony in presence of your mother's statue. So that it would be like she was there with us, watching over and blessing our wedding. You like it? Really? That's wonderful, darling. Oh, I can see it already. It would be so beautiful. Sakura and Noga have already shown me what cherry blossoms look like, and they are just the most adorable and most beautiful flowers and trees I've ever seen. Oh, and the fashion is so glamorous, and the foods are divine, and oh, everything's gonna be so magical. And those girls are just the sweetest little things. I always feared that they would come to hate me, that they would continue to hate me because of my lineage. But we're all getting along so well now. It's a dream come true for me, to have your family accept me into their lives like they have. I've never felt more at home. This is so nice. Yeah, it is getting rather late, isn't it? Hey, come lay beside me, please. I want to cuddle for a little while, if that's alright. Well, regardless of what you answer, it's gonna be yes. This feels nice. Just the two of us like this. To hold you in my arms, to feel your warmth and your embrace, to hear the sound of your heartbeat. I just feel so safe with you here by my side. I feel as if we're the only two people in the world, and that nothing can hurt us. I'm glad you feel the same way, my dearest darling love. Being this close to you truly makes me feel as though everything will be okay, no matter what happens. I just hope things will stay like that when everything reaches the end. Don't make promises you're not sure you can keep, my darling. We don't know how the final battle will go, how it will end. You truly are a brave and daring soul. That's one of the reasons why I love you so much. And hearing you say you love me back just makes me feel even happier. It makes me feel like everything's gonna be okay no matter what. You're right. Everything will be okay. And we'll win the battle for certain. We have a strong and powerful army, and we have you to lead us, to guide us towards a brighter and peaceful future. Hey, I want you to know that I really do love you. I always have. I love you so much that it hurts my heart whenever you're in pain, whenever you're fearful or scared or lost or uncertain. I just love you so much, more than you will ever know. And that, no matter where this final battle leads us, I'm always going to stand by your side, and I'm always going to support your choices until the very end, just like I always have, and like I promised I would. Oh, I'm so glad. Every time you say you love me, I feel so much lighter and happier. It feels so nice. Hey, do you mind if I stay here with you tonight? I know I said I would leave, but I just feel so at ease, and I just want to take comfort in your warmth for just this one night. Before the final battle ensues and determines whether or not we can be together like this for the rest of our lives. Thank you, darling. You're always so warm and soft and just so huggable. I could hold you close to my heart like this for all eternity, if it were possible. I love you too, my dearest. I love you so much. Yes. Good night, my love. Sweet dreams, my beloved fiancé.